In this video, you'll see exactly how you can send your DocuSign contract from within Pipedrive. Writing proposals is a pain in the ass, but you can automate the process with integration. That means that instead of copying pasting your information from Pipedrive into a Google Doc or a Word document, you can get Pipedrive to apply the data into a DocuSign template so that the document is merged for you and you can send that to your client for signature without lifting a finger. But if we haven't met before, my name is Sofian. I'm an ex-DocuSign trainer, also the founder of Solusign Consulting, where we help clients increase revenue by automating paperwork and all manual boring tasks. If you're interested in having some experts look at your workflow and automate a bunch of stuff, you can find a link in the description of this video to book a strategy call with one of us. Okay, so going back to our integration and automation here. So here's what you're gonna need to make this automation work. So first, obviously, you're gonna need a DocuSign account and a Pipedrive account. And I've put the links in the description for you to create a free DocuSign account and a free Pipedrive account as well. You'll also need a Zapier subscription. You can find the link below as well. And you'll also need to have a document template for your contract because yes, we're going to be using your own document template for this integration. Obviously, I'll show you mine in this example. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to take a look at the document that we want to automate. So here's the document that we want to automate. It's a consulting agreement. So here, what we need is the name of the client. Here we want the address of the client. And we also want the price of the engagement to merge here. On the last page of the document, we want the client's name, so we want the client to sign, we want their name, and we also want the title and the date. And once the client has signed, we want to countersign ourselves, being the sales representative in this demo. So all that information actually lives in Pipedrive. So for example, if I click here, I will have the address of the client, I have the client name, and I also have the contact who is going to sign the agreement, and I have the email address of that person. And obviously I do not want to have to type in all of that information in my consulting agreement. This is why we need that integration. So the very first thing that we're going to need to do is to create a DocuSign template. So in the template, we just want to obviously upload our sales agreement, the one that I just showed you here. And then we want to configure the recipient. So the first signer is the client and the second signer is going to be ourselves. So we can actually add the name and email for ourselves in the recipient list. Once we've done that, we want to add all the fields for our documents. So I've got a field here for the client name, and I've got a field for the address line 1, address line 2, city, state, and zip. And I also have a field for my sales price. I've made all these fields read-only so that clients can see it, but they can't change anything that's there. Arguably, you could argue that you could leave the address and address as editable by a client in case you made an error. So that's completely up to you. And then we've also added obviously fields for our clients and for ourselves. So once you've got the DocuSign template built, so you want to map your DocuSign fields with the fields that you have in Pipedrive. And by the way, if you're just starting with DocuSign and want to get up to speed quickly, you haven't maybe built your first template yet, I recommend that you download my DocuSign Mastery cheat sheet to help you learn how fields, template, and all the basic stuff works. You can find the link to download that cheat sheet in the description down below. So once your DocuSign template has been configured, you're going to want to decide what the trigger is going to be for the automation to work. So in other words, what do you need to do in Pipedrive for that DocuSign envelope to be sent to your client? Personally, I like to use a button. So for example, in my activity here, what I've done is I've added an activity type that is called Send via DocuSign. And so if I click on this button here, this is what's going to trigger the contract to be sent through DocuSign. So once you've decided what the trigger is going to be, you need to log into Zapier, and this is when you're going to need to build your Zap. Zapier will wait for you to click on the trigger in Pipedrive, then it will pull all the information that's in the deal, client's address, name, and all that stuff, and send that to DocuSign. It will ask DocuSign to generate an envelope using a template while pre-filling the fields of your template from the Pipedrive deal. So that's basically how it works. So let's take a look at how to set this up in Zapier. First, obviously, you choose that you want to start with Pipedrive as your app. Then you do want to send you do want to actually act on the trigger. So you do want to click on this trigger that you chose in Pipedrive so that Zapier can find some data. You can see here it found some data in the Pipedrive account that I've linked in Zapier, and then you want to create your action. So what we're saying here is that once the trigger has been clicked, what do we want Zapier to do? And we wanted to create a signature request in DocuSign. And so in DocuSign here, I've mapped all the fields of my deal in Pipedrive into the DocuSign field of my template. And I've also obviously added the name and mapped the name and email of the contact person in Pipedrive that's linked to the deal to the contact, to the recipient role in DocuSign. And when you've done all of that mapping, you can just close your Zap, and then we can go back to Pipedrive and we'll just test this. I'm going to create a new deal from scratch. We'll go with Bob Smith as the contact. We'll create Bob as a new contact, but it doesn't matter. We'll go with Small Biz LLC. Why not? We'll add Bob's email to the email field, and then that's it for now. So I've created a new deal in Pipedrive, but I haven't clicked on my trigger yet. So the DocuSign envelope won't be sent, and that's what I want. So here I just want to add my product, obviously. So I'm going to say that Bob is buying this, and they're buying, okay, why not? Let's just say they're buying 10 of that. It's a big sale. And then they're also buying the sales workflow automation, and they're buying this, I don't know, they're buying 10 of that as well. Okay, nice contract value here, 300K. So I've got my product in the deal, and I also need obviously the address for this for my contract to be populated with the client's address. So I've got all I need for my DocuSign envelope to work. So the last thing that I need to do is to trigger my my envelope to be sent. And so just click on activity and then send your DocuSign, and then I'll click on save. And now we just need to wait a couple of minutes for the integration to be triggered. And so let's just go to my email now and see if we've got the DocuSign envelope. So acting as Bob, I just received an email. You can see that the email message has actually got the name of the organization merged into the email subject, which is always nice. And then we also have, hi Bob, please review and complete this agreement. So in DocuSign, without the integration, you can't actually merge the name of the recipient in the email message, which is a bit silly, I know, but you can do much more when you use integration actually. So the email is more personalized. So I'll click on review document, still acting as Bob, and we'll see what the agreement looks like if the data has been merged correctly. Okay, so that's the agreement. We can see here we've got the business name, and still acting as Bob, can't change it. Then I've got the address here. So, and obviously I haven't spent too much time working with the formatting, but we could make this prettier if we wanted to. And then here we have the sales price as well. How much time have I spent creating this document? Zero. Nothing. It was fully automated. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're interested in automation, you definitely want to watch the next videos where I'll show you how to mark this activity as complete and update the stage of the opportunity as soon as the customer signs the document. And I'll also show you how you can automatically generate an invoice in QuickBooks as soon as the envelope has been signed. So make sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about how you can grow your business through automation. And if you need help with your automation setup, you can book a call with me. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.